Hello everyone, welcome to Sheep Tech. Today we're going to talk about the $400 build. Is this PC going to game? Hell yeah it is. It's going to be a $400 monster PC? No it's not. Sorry, you simply can't buy the best of the best for $400, but will it game a lot of games for pretty good graphics? Yes, I would say this is a 1080p shredding machine for a price. Absolutely astonished by what this thing can achieve. Let's just get straight into the video and I'll explain some options I have chosen while I'm handling the component. Let's go to the CPU because that's always where you start. In these builds it's always the CPU where you begin. I don't know exactly why we do that, just simply how it is. The Intel Core i3-9100F 3.6 GHz quad-core processor. What a beast! What a beast! For $72, this is a processor you can't leave this thing laying around, fellas. So some of you guys might ask me, why did you choose the Intel Core i3-9100F and not the AMD Ryzen 3 3200G? Because the i3 is simply cheaper, so it suits better in a price point, and we can get a better GPU for it, for that price. And well, it's a good quad-core 3.6 GHz processor. There's nothing wrong with this thing. And the AMD Ryzen 3 3200G is also a good processor, but this one is just $30 cheaper, and on a price range of $400, that's quite some money. That's like 10% of your budget. So, well, with a core clock of 3.6 GHz and a boost clock of 4.2 GHz, I can't really leave this thing laying around, fellas. But of course, our CPU has to be installed on a motherboard, and the motherboard we went with today is the MSI H310M PRO-VDH Plus. Now, PCPartPicker warns us that there might be an BIOS update needed prior to using this CPU. So be aware of that fact. Even though this motherboard will very likely still work, just be aware of the fact that that's possible, and maybe ask your retailer if he can update it for you or something. But the MSI H310M PRO-VDH Plus MicroATX LGA 1151 motherboard. This motherboard has 2 DDR4 slots. I know, it's crazy. 1 PCIe X16 slot and 2 other PCI lanes. It's a basic motherboard. There's nothing special about this thing. It's kind of basic. There's nothing special. It's just it's meh. It supports DDR4 till 2666 MHz and has a max memory of 32 GB. Now let's go straight towards the memory. The memory is the Corsair Vengeance LPX 8 GB DDR4 2400 MHz. It's good memory. It's good memory. It's Corsair Vengeance LPX. It's memory I recommend, and it's good quality memory. Don't be afraid that this RAM stick won't work. The storage is Western Digital Caviar Blue 1 TB. Normally I always go for the Seagates, but today we went with a Western Digital Caviar Blue 1 TB because, well, I kind of felt like Western Digital today. It's 1 TB, so enough to store many games for you and your Windows, because sadly we don't have an SSD in this build because simply we don't have enough money for it. I'm truly sorry, but it simply doesn't really fit in the build. Now the GPU. The GPU we went with is the ASRock Radeon RX 570 4GB Phantom Gaming D. This is a good video card. It's from ASRock, so sure, it's kind of like a B brand, but it's a good GPU. The RX 570. I will show some benchmarks, or maybe even now. Shall we do the benchmarks right now? Because I think it's a fitting moment. Let me just grab the pictures of the benchmarks here. Benchmark number 1. It is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Can you play Call of Duty Modern Warfare? By the way, pay attention that all of these benchmarks are 1080p. No 1440p, no 2K, no 4K. All of these benchmarks are in 1080p. You can play Call of Duty Modern Warfare with the system, but not very good. Only on low for 72 FPS, which is pretty good. It's a good amount. By the way, pay attention, these are not actual benchmarks I ran. These are benchmarks on theoretical basement. So basically I filled in the little details and a little calculator went and, well, calculated this stuff for me. So you can only play Call of Duty Modern Warfare on low settings, otherwise it becomes just unplayable. 31 FPS on medium, high settings is 20 FPS, and 15 FPS on ultra high. So low settings is the only way to go here, sadly. Fortnite, oh man, you will absolutely shrek Fortnite. Low settings 200 plus FPS, medium settings 103 FPS, high settings 53 FPS, ultra high settings 36 FPS. So that's good. That's a pretty good settings, I must say. That's pretty good. Looking pretty fine. Now Rocket League is not the most demanding game. You guys can see it over here yourself. 200 FPS, 150 FPS, and 104 FPS. Rocket League is perfectly playable, but it's not the most physically demanding thing. We have League of Legends here. 200, 200, and nearly 200 FPS. So you guys can see it absolutely cuts League of Legends in half with like a knife through butter. So that's just great. And we have Minecraft here, which is also not the most demanding title. Why did I put Minecraft in here? Simply because I felt like it, and I did it in my last video, so why not? I will continue showing some benchmarks on the screen, just so you can see it for yourself, but I'm not gonna name all of them, because that would take way too long. And it's only a $400 build, fellas. I don't want to take too long. So if you want to see some, you can maybe pause some, you know. Up to the case, it's the HEC or the HEC, I don't know. I just like the word HEC. So maybe you want to even buy this case for only the name. The HEC HX 210 MicroATX mini tower case. It's a good case. Just make sure that the total is $37. Okay, and maybe we need to talk about. I always think that cases are personal preference, people. If you don't like this case, that's perfectly possible. Everybody has their own opinions and their own things that they like. $36. Just make sure it's $36 or around that price. It supports the MicroATX motherboard, and make sure that okay, I can't really find anywhere where I can find the GPU dimension. So let's just hope and pray that it fits. Now I must say that the RX 570 is not the longest of GPUs, so it should fit. It should fit. But I can't really find anywhere, so I can give you guys a guarantee. I don't ever give guarantees, by the way, just in case. But with this thing, especially, I can give any guarantees that it will fit. But just make sure it supports the MicroATX motherboard and a 37. It's around $37. The GPU should fit because it's not really that big of a GPU. But if it doesn't, I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible for any mistakes you made because of my advice. I'm truly sorry, but I can't give you guys that insurance. I hope you guys get it because of legal reasons. Now, let's go to, after that little speech I gave, let's go to the power supply unit, which is the Cooler Master Elite version 3, 400 watts, 80 plus. It's a good power supply for $50. Just keep in mind, you never ever want to save money on your power supply, simply because the power supply is the heart of the system. It pumps energy all through your components, and you want to make sure that your components get enough energy so that, well, they can work properly. Just imagine if a fan fell out because it didn't get enough energy. Then, well, what are you going to do? Your components are going to burn. No, it's just kidding. PC would automatically turn off because CPU temperatures, etc. But just imagine that situation, fellas. Nah, but it's a good power supply unit, 400 watts should be enough for a system because the estimated wattage is 300 watts. So you're under it, but you can't really stick any other, like you can't really do massive things with this system anymore because the power supply is not that big. I would recommend upgrading to 500 watts power supply if you can pay for that, but if you can't, well, this is a perfectly fine power supply for now. And that was the build for today, fellas. That was the build. That was it. The $400 gaming PC build. As of right now, the grand total is $425. So I know we went a little bit over budget. I'm truly sorry, but this is just what we end up with. It's a good power supply and a good PC overall. I don't know why I said power supply, but it's a good PC overall. Okay? Good PC overall, and see you guys later maybe. I'm right now on vacation. This video is just planned ahead, just like the last one, but I didn't tell you guys, so I'm going to tell you guys right now. I've been probably on vacation for like 2 weeks now, but you guys are going to see this video and probably when I'm back home, nearly back home I must say, maybe like after a couple of days after this video releases. So well, see you guys then. When I have had my vacation, might give you guys an update on my vacation, I don't know. It's not like anyone really cares, let's be honest. But see you guys later. Goodbye.